here's the long-awaited leopard costume rundown. It's kind of hard to really explain what I'm doing, but it's pretty simple, at least to me, so I don't know if that's a general case. So here I'm showing you that I just cut out a piece of fabric that fits onto the bikini. I pinned it down with the hem rolled under, so I'm basically hemming it at the same time, and I just hand stitched it onto the bikini bra. The corset was the same way, except I pinned it as I went and kind of shoved it and molded it to the corset as I was going. So the pins would get adjusted as I was doing it, and I was putting them in certain places where stress needed to be, make sure it would fit onto it without any bunches or bulges. Here I'm trimming out the busk clip, whatever it's called, around it so that I can close the corset without fear of the fabric getting in the way. And there I'm sewing the edges of the fabric around the busk so it's a clean fix. All of this was hand stitched, and oh my god, my hands were in so much pain. It was not ideal for a long time. It took a lot, and like that, the corset is so thick. So here I've got fabric paint, and I'm just going to be painting over all the stitches inside of the corset so it's cleaner. I used a light stitch because I was sewing through the whole thing for extra structure stability for the hold, and I wanted the light side to match with the leopard fabric more than the black, because the black is an easy fix. And then, oh, I forgot, yeah, so I painted the inside of the bikini cups black because it was white for some reason. It was a cheap bikini top that I got from Yandy. So I'm just going in and covering that whole thing with paint. And this is a really awesome paint because you don't have to do anything to it. It's not thick like an acrylic, it's made for fabric, and it's awesome. Fabric painting is always one of my favorite things to do, just to add that like extra finishing little cleaning touch. And I'm like stamping it in. You can't really tell, but I'm like getting it in the fibers. And then I'm going on the front side with it. I don't know if I'm doing it. Yeah, so I'm just painting over the stitches that are on the black spots of the leopard pattern. And then eventually I do paint the binding, the corset binding area black. It was a pink corset when I first started with it. Pink with black trim, which I wish I had two of, because I'm doing a number now that it would go perfect with, without all the extra steps I had to take. So I think, yeah, I'm still doing laces. This is a weird video to edit because I didn't know how much to show, how much I would have to explain. Hello. Yep. So there's kind of inconsistencies. I think I learned from it a little bit how to do it. I just didn't, when I was working on stuff, I didn't really feel like talking and explaining because I was so in work mode that I was focused. And then here I'm going over the pink fabric with the fabric paint, the same one I use for everything else. I realize how like low I am. Whatever, it's fine. And yeah, just going over it. Sometimes it took a couple coatings to get that full effect, and I was avoiding the rings. Can't tell. And then I'm doing the same thing just really wherever the pink showed, because there's no pink in that number. Just being careful not to get it too far into the leopard coloring. And the part that I'm painting black right now doesn't really show underneath the corset hooks, so it's fine. There, I'm just cleaning up the edges where still some pink was showing, or some threads. So here I'm showing you what my rhinestones come in when you buy them in bulk. This is 1,440 stones. I went through a good couple of those. I don't really keep track of how many I use nowadays. I should just because I want to for repairs. And I put them in little like trays so they're easier to grab. And then I use a gem stick, which I preferably use the crystal katana. It's just better. In this video, I'm using a cheaper one because I wanted to try it out and see how it would work compared to the more expensive one, and the more expensive one is better. The glue I used 90% of the time is gem tack, and it's pretty good. I try to use Fabrifuge for some things, but I'm still on the edge of of my preference. The rhinestoning pattern, I don't really have one. I kind of just place them where it looks like they should go. It's just so second nature to me now, but I leave enough space because I'm going to be filling these in with 2 different sizes, SS20 and SS16. Then here I'm showing you, it's so fast, oh my gosh. Whenever I rhinestone panties, I always pin them to a yoga block to make sure they're stretched out so when my surface is flat when I'm stoning it. Just easier. Then here is all the pieces all together.
Okay, I also wanted to point out, I don't know if you see it, in the underwear region, because of the stones, they created like a little foldy thing, so instead of being flat, it was like this. I ended up taking in the panty because it was a little small. It was like a one-size-fits-all situation, and I'm definitely kind of under one-size-fits-all. I'm very small. So I ended up taking it in, and now it sits flat on me. So I just wanted to point that out. It was a detail that bothered me enough to add this little cut in. Okay, back to the video.
There's a lot of fucking stones on them, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm sorry it took me so long to get you this video. I wanted to make a skirt for it, but the fabric was so impossible to work with for the skirt. So anyways, one day I might add it just so I feel like a lot of my costumes are just corset, bra, panty. So I might either sew gloves, or I've never made gloves, so I don't know how that's gonna turn out. Or I'm gonna try again with the skirt. I don't know how it's gonna go because it's just the way I want it doesn't work with the type of fabric I'm using, but there might be another solution. But anyways, here's the long-awaited video explanation. I wish I had more to it. I wish there were like, what is it, more meat and potatoes? Is that the saying? To creating it, but I don't know. In my mind, it's very simple. It's just a lot of tedious work. But thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.